As the countdown to the 2027 general elections gathers momentum, Nigeria's political space is already witnessing realignments and rising interest in emerging platforms. One party attracting growing attention is the African Democratic Congress. Now, with conversations intensifying around its structure, its reach, and political momentum. Now, on Daybreak today, we focus on the 2027 politics and analysis on ADC's momentum, examining what is fueling the party's rise, its role in the evolving political equation, and what it could mean for the road to 2027. Now, joining us in the studio for this discussion is Ibrahim Abdulkarim, Director General, Big Tent Nigeria, and also an ally to former Labour Party Peter Obi. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, viewers.
All right. Now, looking at the ADC, so far, aside from, I would say, Atiku Abubakar, we saw that he officially became a member of the ADC, and now Peter will be becoming the member of the ADC. We haven't seen so much momentum since the beginning of that coalition. Now, at this point, does ADC, do you think it suffers from, credibility gap? But aside from that, let us look at its current visibility and the result of organic growth. Do you think that it does have an organic growth or elite migration, and does the public care which it is at this point?
Thank you, Hauwa. You see, when you're talking about politics and you gauge your mind towards what the elite are thinking and what the elite are saying, because you think the elite are the ones that are looking at the television, then you mishold the conversation. The conversation is about the poor man on the street who has been in a very bad shape for almost getting to 10 or 12 years now, and looking for a succor. He can't contest, he cannot be the candidate. He's still going to work within that framework that is given to him for the democracy through an opposition politics for him to get who is going to be the next president. Definitely he's going to search within themselves. But what people are seeing and what people are seeing is that we have seen a trend that democracy is in danger. Somebody has brought in a formula that he has used in Lagos, for example, to use it at the national level. So that at the end of everything, the ordinary man that is suffering today has one option to choose from, which in democracy, in opposition is very important. We have to have a space where we can give different, multi-party politics. You can get different people that you can now choose from. That one is just a referendum, for example, to say, I have done this for you, I have done that for you, I'm here. If you think I should continue to do a second term, vote me in. If I don't, then other people will come and do the same thing. So, as the saying goes, that changing politicians and changing diapers, it's all the same. You just have to check what is there.
Now, you just made mention of changing politicians, but when you look at the ADC, we've seen that a lot of bigwigs from different political parties have moved to the ADC. Won't people say that, okay, it's just the same person but different clothing?
Still, let me go back to, if you look at it that way, then you don't understand the mass. What you're supposed to see is that it's now the masses that are now removing them and changing them. Because, for example, PDP said they are going for 100 or 60 years. They remove them, they bring APC, and APC, this is what they are today. And then they remove them and bring, even if there's just two party or two people that, like said, me and you, I was the manager of Daily Trust. I doing my work. They remove me because they like me, and now bring Hauwa. Hauwa is not doing one. And then the next person said, let me bring Hauwa back. Well, let me bring Ibrahim back. Ibrahim will now say, okay, let me do something so that this person that is changing us knows that he wants his TV station to work. It wants you to reach out to audience. So that's how politics works. Don't let them use that psychology that, okay, they are all different. Let me tell you, even if the greatest thief today get the opportunity now to come back to life, that's why they went to prison and come back. Now you now decide, what else did I want? Shall I continue to live this life, or shall I do better for people to have a better life? That's how it works. And if this ADC, as you see them, as we are talking about them, refuse to do anything from 2027, 20,000, then the populists change them again. That's why I say it's just like changing diapers. Keep changing them till they realize that the most important value is to add value to the common man, because he is the one in charge of voting in people into that system.
All right,
so that's how the contest is supposed to look like.
All right, now let's look at ADC's momentum at this point? A lot would say that, okay, we've heard ADC, we've seen ADC, but what hard evidence exists that ADC's momentum translates beyond social media, press conferences, and defections that we've seen happen?
Us that are on the street, we can tell you for free. That's what is happening. A lot of people are disenchanted with this at APC because there is no government that people on their own brought into power like APC government during the Buhari, and they have a lot of expectation from them. And also everything went gaga. The whole of the people in PDP joined them, as I heard somebody saying it's garbage in, garbage out. But what we realized after everything is that they don't come with two concepts when they are coming into power. That's what Buhari lost, and that's what Tinubu is losing today. Once you come into power, the first thing that's supposed to be in front of you is uniting your country. You come with just 8 million votes out of 24 million votes that cast during 2023 election. You know that a lot of people don't like you. What you need to do is that am I going to bring this country together? And everybody see the fracture where we are when we are going with the Muslim ticket and all this campaign of religious, and that people don't know what to offer, and they don't bring all this thing that will divide us more. So once you come, then because you make the division, you're supposed to have a mechanism, because if the PR person or the person that is your DG of your campaign brought you the idea of for you to do a Muslim ticket, you're supposed to have an antidote of it. Like for somebody that maybe I want to fake a death, I want to take a poison, definitely somebody has to put something by the side so that if I take the poison, I will take the antidote and now come back to life. Because in a Nigerian context, the way the issue of religion and tribe is, and you bring that kind of toxic ticket, you're supposed to be very, very serious about what you are going to bring. It happens. Now we have where we are. ADC bring the best to lead the party. For example, David Mark, which everybody knows that he has finished all what he needs to do in his life. Arabi Sola, the same thing. He has done governor, minister, everything. What people are looking up to today is that there is going to be a huge space because of what we have seen, the aging former president and their contribution to Nigeria and Africa. There is supposed to be a new people, new Kwame Nkrumah, new Tafawa Balewa, new Obasanjo, new, you understand. So that's why I understand the feelings of Mr. Peter Obi. It's now time to see there is a space that somebody needs to step in to organize Nigeria. First, on his speech yesterday, he talked about the unity. You have to bring unity. Then you have to bring a competent manager. Everybody in Nigeria believes that we have money. Everybody on the street, everybody in Nigeria is a rich country. But the problem we're having is that we have bad managers. Immediately after next government, maybe after this government in 2027, what you start hearing is that this person steal this amount of money, this money for subsidy after removal, this amount of money, this money for vandalization, for protection of pipelines, 17 trillion, this is the person that stole the amount of money. That's what you are going to be. So that's the problem, is that we need to unfold the continuation of democracy, because it's the only option we have. We don't want to be like Sudan. We don't want to be like Yemen and other countries that have just dropped themselves to where they are today. What we need to do, let's uplift ourselves. Let's bring that unity and bring a very competent, somebody that we know is prudent. Let me tell you, even the person that runs Daily Trust, for example, or Trust TV, when you have people that he wants to now bring to head this, he will look at somebody that will turn it around. He will not look at somebody that belongs to his family or somebody that is ill, or somebody that, no, what he wants is somebody that will come, somebody that will not come and take the small money that is coming from advert here and go and do party or go and buy a brand new car. What he wants is that he wants a good manager.
All right,
that's what Peter Obi is bringing. All
right, we've seen Peter Obi joining the ADC at this point. What confidence can Nigerians have that him being part of that coalition, it will bring something tangible, a change, something that they've not seen, something that would propel Nigeria to greater heights? And aside from that, how do you think the dynamic is going to be when it comes to the 2027 elections? Who is going to be push forth as someone that is taking or carrying the presidential mantle, the presidential ticket?
You see, the most important thing is you see somebody doing a new thing, not doing the old method of doing this. Once politicians want to join party, you see them, they go to their ward, they pick a card, they clap for them. But Peter Obi didn't do that. He said, I have series of people that I'm coming together with. I have my Omidian movement. I have to go on the space because some of them reside in Nigeria, some outside Nigeria. Let me talk to them. This is what we want us to do. He has his team. Then he has people from his south. He went to see former governors. He went to meet former senators, serving senators, House of Rep members, talk to them. And they all agree, put up a date. That was yesterday. And they moved to Enugu, not his own state, for him to declare, this is me. This is my associate from my own side of the country. And these are my people from all over the country. I'm joining. This is new. It has never been done anywhere. So what we think is that if we see somebody that is thinking outside the box, being smart, thinking smart, that means he's going to bring such things into the context of how he's going to deal with us. He's not going to be, I'm going to give you tax. Whether you like it, whether you don't like it, I can even change this document just for me to make sure that I feel good about it. Or I'll come for the first day and said, subsidy gone, without any palliative or anything to help people. And now we see you buying private jet. No, Peter Obi will never do that. Peter Obi will not come to this studio with me if I don't have any additional value that I'm going to give if I'm coming to this place. Because it's a waste. So Nigeria is we are so wasteful. And we need somebody that is now prudent. Somebody that if he's not stealing, his wife is not pressuring him to steal. Because she wants to go and donate 1 billion naira in this church, 1 billion naira in this place. And his son or his children, he has only 2. So if his children are not dabbling, you are not seeing them around him, just because he's children, they are not having the capacity, but just because they are his children, they are not going to bring their friends to say, this is what he wants to do. This is why he wants to go to security, as Wale Senka said. You give him a whole security, just one person that can even be a security of a whole, that can take care of Benin Republic.
So now you're
that's
saying...
not only I'm even saying, just leave. And you now bring a president that maybe have like a 20 set of those kind of say, how are we going to deal with them? So the thinking is just simple and easy. What we need to do is that get a perfect manager, somebody that is very prudent, somebody that is not stealing. So if he's not doing this, all this, and he's young, he can reach out to everybody. He can relate to people. He can, if you ask him, this tablet, I'm going to buy it at the cost of $1,000. From his head, with his phone on his hand, he will tell you, no, we can't do this. But because we don't have managers,
so
what we have is just rulers.
Are you saying that he has a clean bill of health when it comes to character?
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. If you stay with him, the first thing you understand about him is just being a very good person. That's what's good. We need people that say words the way they are. People, let them like you for who you are. You have to have that character for you to live among people, to walk among people. You see the Emir of Dubai, look at him on the street, look at him going, but because he knows he's aging, what did he do? He said, I have a crown prince. Look at Saudi Arabia today. Nobody is being about thinking that Salman is dead, the king is dead. He's not dead, he's alive. But his son is the one going everywhere. Because energy, health, life, you need it for you to run a system. Let me tell you, there is no way you see an 80-year-old, 90-year-old person and tell you we are going to canoe together in a car that is going to drive. You're not alive.
All right, let's go on a quick break with Ibrahim. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue on this conversation. Our other guest will join us in the studio, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. We'll be going back to our discussion on the ADC and its momentum at this point, looking at the 2027 general elections. We're joined by our other guest, Ladan Salihu, who is an ADC Chieftain at this one. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And we still have Ibrahim Abdulkarim right here, who is an ally for the former Labour Party, Peter Obi. All right, we'll continue on this discussion at this point. Let me throw my question to you, Mr. Ladan Salihu. As someone that is an ADC chieftain and you know what ADC is all about, what do you think ADC's momentum is at this point moving on to 2027? Because a lot of people would say that we haven't heard ADC doing anything so far. It's been quiet since the coalition. It's been quiet. Just at the end of the year, we've seen Atiku Abubakar formally becoming a member, and now we've seen Peter Obi. So how do you think we're going to push forth? We're in 2026 now. This is 1st of January. We have 2027 just around the corner. So how do you think ADC is going to be and come up as a major political opposition to the APC? We've seen what is going on in PDP at this point. Everyone is looking at pointing fingers towards the ADC. What is your thoughts on that?
Thank you so very much for having me. First of all, I would like to state, without any fear of contradiction, that the momentum is on the side of the ADC, obviously, for a lot of reasons. Primarily because the nation as it is now is groaning under the yoke of what I will call state capture. The capture of the APC superstructure, the capture of the APC government, of the commanding heights of the economy, of the commanding heights of, the security, of the commanding heights of, business and businesses. But more fearsome is the capture of the structure of public service. All of these structures that I have mentioned seem to genuflect, seem to differ, to answer, when they are asked to jump, they won't look at the whole. They will just jump however deep, and with it they sink the character and the constitution and the composition of the Nigerian state. We are under what I will call, an administration that is so kind of close its eyes to the endemic poverty and the kind of, underdevelopment and the endemic corruption that is in the system. And so you can say literally anybody that is an onlooker, even a pedestrian, will tell you that the ADC has already one foot in the presidential villa, mainly because this government has failed. This government has failed to deliver. And the momentum is on the side of the ADC, primarily because the government is failing. Beyond failing, they don't even have the qualified and quality hands that will run the government. You are talking about a system that has 38% of the so-called winning numbers, when 62 PDP and Labour had 62%. None of these parties have any representation in government, and so quality hands are out. Mediocres and rookies and greenhorns are inside, and they are failing in administering Nigeria because, first of all, they lack the knowledge, they lack the experience, they lack the capacity. They bring into the fold the template of Lagos. And that template is failing catastrophically, woefully. And so Nigerians are expecting a change. The coming of Peter Obi, and before then Atiku Abubakar on board, the ADC, is the icing on the cake.
But then a lot of people would say that you shouldn't toot your own horn at this point because some might describe it as recycling, because we've seen the faces. What can they do now that they haven't done before? And looking at the ADC, a lot have been drawn in from different political parties, and they have been in power. We've seen what they've done. So what is it different that they're going to bring now to the table that has not been done before?
Let me say this, very quick and fast. There's no way you can compare the pedigree, the qualification, the experience, the kind of mentorship in government and governance of Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi to the structure on ground. It's not a question of recycling. No, it's a question of bringing on board qualified hands. Nigeria is not a country.
Now you think those people in the ADC are qualified hands?
250 million people. We are too heavy, too heavy to be seen to be, governed by rookies, governed by people who are inexperienced. And the disturbing scenario we are having today is as a result of garbage in, garbage out. So what would you say about, for instance, Atiku Abubakar? I don't want to be seen to be drumming, the issue of Atiku Abubakar, but look, these are the facts. As the Vice President of Nigeria in the past, he was the head of the National Economic Council. He was elected as a governor, and he wasn't sworn in. He was picked based on his quality, based on his own political depth and knowledge. And he has proved his own mettle as a businessman, as a manager of the economy. So I don't see a Nigeria of today that is groaning under serious hardship, serious economic underdevelopment, serious misgovernance, having anything to worry about Atiku Abubakar or even Peter Obi becoming, president. We have quality hands in the ADC that can take Nigeria out of this economic doldrum. You have the Peter Rufais, you have the Amechis, you have, David Mark, who was the architect of the doctrine of necessity. So you have people that have seen Nigeria and have seen Nigeria and have watched Nigeria and believe that they can deliver, and we believe they will deliver. Right. So that's it.
All right, let me throw this question to you, Mr. Ibrahim. At this point, we've heard him mention all the bigwigs that are in the ADC. So who, at this point, do you think is the most capable to be able to carry that presidential ticket?
Me, I always go my route towards the elite, towards the masses, because they are the ones we are all parading these people for. They are the ones.
We understand that, but before the masses, we know there will be a primary election and then general elections.
When we go to that bridge, we cross it. What we need to do today. So how
would the ADC make sure that it is up to the masses?
Yeah, that's what we're saying. That's what the process lies on them. They are the chieftain. What they think, what they're supposed to think for is that we are doing this for Nigerians. We are going to present our best. That's what he's saying. I'm not a chieftain of. We just joined yesterday, but we've been part of the coalition.
You're a chieftain in your own right, my brother.
So what I'm saying is that what they're supposed to do quietly and quickly is that to see how is our process of selecting the next person that is going to lead us to a new Nigeria, supposed to be something that will give clear indication to these young people, the Nigerians that we are seeing, that is going to be different between APC and ADC. Because if we didn't get that thing right, any other thing that he wants to do will not work.
All right, now, Mr. Ladan, he has put you on the spot at this moment. So let us hear from you as an ADC chieftain. How are we supposed to understand that, okay, the ADC is going to leave it to the masses? What process is going to be followed in making sure that, yes, the masses are the ones that pick their choice?
Well, I think it is in order to suggest that, to expect Nigerians to see from the ADC a template, a kind of roadmap that will bring about the necessary change we are talking about. And that roadmap, it's not something that will happen on conditions or conditionalities. It has to be homegrown, it has to be democratic, it has to be born out of the constitution and the objectives and the vision and mission of the party. It has to be in tandem with the collective will of the people, of the party, of its structure, and of its norms and values. I understand the anxiety, the apprehension of the youths. We've gone through this ourselves. It's a metamorphosis in life. But you do not, on the issue of, of leadership, insist on a particular age group. When you look at the German Chancellor, when you look at the South African President, it's about 70, 71 now. The German Chancellor is 79. Trump is what, 76, 79, or thereabout. So to me, age is just a definition of a number. Quality, experience, pedigree, and capacity matters. If you bring a young person that does not have the capacity to deliver, you're on your own. And we have seen even in the Nigerian superstructure, the states that have been governed by young people have failed woefully. I don't want to mention names. And it does not necessarily translate into victory. And I think what we should be preoccupied at this moment as an opposition party is look at the character and the content and the delivery process of the current administration, insist on the right issues, the right commentaries, the right narratives, carry everybody along, and then, like he said, when you get to the bridge, you can then cross it. As it is now, Nigerians expect a robust political opposition that will not only put the government on the spot, no, but an opposition that will be marketing the programs, the manifesto, the conviction and the vision and the mission of the party. I do not think at this stage it is proper for us to begin to debate on who will lead Nigeria. I think we should debate on the issues that are germane to the political growth and development of the country, to the economic growth of the country, and how do we chart a course for the nation to succeed going forward. If we begin to fall into the trap of who should lead, who should follow at this stage, we will fall into the trap of the administration that subsists. Our own conviction, in my view, should be how to aggregate our forces, how to aggregate the quality hands we have on board, how to aggregate, everybody, the young, the old, the business class, the industrialist, to be on the onslaught going forward.
So now, is there
ensure that we capture, the the hierarchy of power to the greater glory of the Nigerian masses, not for self-aggrandizement.
So now the question is there a plan in place to make sure that the ADC makes its mark between now and the 2027
obviously,
elections?
there is a plan, my sister. When you look at Peter Obi on board, when you look at Atiku Abubakar on board, when you look at the likes of Amechi and El-Rufai and David Mark and Bolaji Abdullahi, Salihu, you have them. We have people that can sit within 48 hours and give you a blueprint. So we'll get there. Nigerians will see from the ADC in the coming weeks or months a clear definition of our vision and mission, a clear perspective, not the issue of, how do you call it? Not perception, no, perspectives, and how we will manage our vision and mission and deliver on our own, what do you call it, on our own manifesto. I have no worry, and Nigerians should brood no worry about the future with the quality of hands in the ADC. I am convinced that we are on the right track. I am convinced that we are more than capable as a party of not only unseating this government. No, this government is literally gone because of bad politics, bad policies, bad governance, misgovernance, and all the negativities that are attached to the issues of failure and setback. So all we need to do is to be organized, to be conscientious, and to market our own vision and mission to the Nigerian public. And we have capable hands on board to do that.
All right. Now, Mr. Ibrahim, looking at the ADC, we have heard even people that are associated to the ADC, they speak about ADC being for the masses, only caring about the youth, credibility, accountability, transparency as well. Now, moving forth, how do you think that Nigerians are going to accept the ADC with the manifesto and the mandate that is going to be pushed forth when it comes to 2027 elections?
It all depends on the sincerity. You see, you can come and lie on television, you can come and bring the figures, you can cook whatever you want to cook, the way you see the APC are doing, and their propaganda. You can even set some people in some hotels for them to be retweeting for you and just to make you look good. It won't make you look good because it comes from the heart. We have to have a leader that is sincere. If I'm sincere, I connect to the people that I'm talking to. If I'm not sincere, I will try to grab some things just to show that I'm sincere. And then what I want us to do, because just recently I was named as the chairman of the steering committee that is bringing all the support group that are under Peter Obi onto the fold of the ADC and also to work together with them. And we have to create guidelines and principles and things that we can take and things that we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to run our campaign and also how to marry it into that system. And what we are looking at is a new Nigeria, all of us. So what we did is that it's going to be easier space for us to come and sit down if the whole idea is to bring a new Nigeria. But if the idea is that somebody just want to grab power, somebody just want to be in government, somebody just want to enjoy, there is one of my friends that called me and said, yeah, now we are together. I said, we have to think together. If I'm thinking left, you are thinking right, we can't work together. We have to put the masses in front so that I will know me being in government has no any value that I'm going to attach to anybody if I'm not going to add any value. So I don't want Peter Obi to reward me for being his aide to be in the government with knowing fully if he's his bank, for example, he will not take me because he knows I'm not a banker, I will not going to add value. So the way he treats his own business, I wanted to treat Nigerians the same way. So what I'm thinking, what I'm asking for them is that we have to do something different. When we are doing the APC, moving from PDP to ADC in 2014, 2015, when they choke the place, they start flying dollars, you're giving impression that you're not going to be different with the people you are taking over from. We have to. It's supposed to be intentional. Nigeria has to see it in us, that now we have seen the light. We Nigerians need us. Other Nigerians need these resources that we have seen, from the gold in Zamfara to the oil, the gas, everything. All this thing that somebody will sell 17 trillion is being spent for the protection of this one. This is not what we want here. We want good managers. What we want is that let it start from within ourselves to have an approach where every young man, young woman that will see this said, I have a life. That means a son of nobody can become somebody without knowing anybody.
All right, quickly before we go, I'll go to Mr. Ladan as well. Quickly before we go, I'd like to hear from you. Pushing forth to the 2027 election in an ideal Nigeria, how do you think the elections would go? A prediction of the 2027 election for the ADC, quickly.
So quickly, it's not going to be an ideal Nigeria. It's not going to be an ideal because we know the template in Lagos. We know how they operate. So definitely we want ADC to excite the young Nigerians. The only thing that can checkmate and balance them is what we have seen in 2023. We have to have a rising voice, young people that are committed in taking back their country to make sure that it works for everybody. That excitement will help them to pipe down on what they want to do and how they think about how they're going to bring the template. So somebody will just go to court, will just write the results, or they will just beat everybody. So you have to match them aura to aura for us to win the next election. All
right, Mr. Ladan, I'd like to hear from you. What do you think a prediction of the 2027 elections would be for the ADC?
A prediction too early. But, you know, the prospects for victory are as clear as chalk is from cheese. I am not so much worried about 2027 per se with, like I said, the dramatis persona that we have on board in the ADC. It's a mismatch. This election in 2027 will be a mismatch. It will be a clean sweep. I am worried about how we aggregate our forces, how we come together as a collective, and how we execute our own campaign and communications strategy to reach out to everybody across the board. Look, the tent is big enough to accommodate everybody. I am not particular about, you know, and I want to say this to the younger generation. You have to crawl before you walk. You have to understand that there is a process in life. Nursery, primary, secondary, tertiary, and then you graduate. In politics, as in everyday life, I have tested the issue of campaigns and elections and defeat. And I have tested equally victory. And I have come to the inescapable understanding that it's not about who wins, but what party, you know, is victorious. And at this stage, we must manage the process very, very carefully to understand that we don't narrow it to conditionalities and personalities and you know, issues that are so frenzied and so, if you like, torched up to insist on our own terms. If we do that, I must warn, we will find ourselves in the same room where we held a press conference after, you know, the day after.
All right, our time is running out.
When we are on the verge of winning, and we lost it all because we have not been able to aggregate our own strengths.
All right.
And I hope this does not happen in 2027. And I assure you it won't happen.
All right. Thank you very much, Ladan Salihu, ADC Chieftain, and Ibrahim Abdulkarim, Director General, Big Tent Nigeria, and also an ally to the former Labour Party, Peter Obi. Should we say now ADC Peter Obi? All right. Thank you very much for being here on Daybreak.